Okay, let's see. See if we're okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're looking good. Okay. Wow. Okay, it's first live stream in a long time. Yeah. So basically, we're just gonna be talking about pretty, pretty strong ice accumulations here that could be causing some pretty damaging areas, including the snow actually, which is kind of crazy for some areas. Like, we can see here if I pull out my little paint tool. I can't use Epic Pen for some reason. It just, like, glitches everywhere, and I don't like it. So, sorry about that. But we can see here, like, trailing snow here. Sorry about the voice cracks. Trailing snow here over these areas. It could get up to pretty good amounts here. And then ice over here, which is pretty good. So, maybe we'll see. I mean, you can see how I made the thumbnail here. 0.61 inches of ice, a little bit over half an inch. If you like find some areas, like some of the darkest areas, 165, 0.65. So that is a lot of ice. That's pretty damaging. But we'll see if it comes out as the model is saying, because since it is such a small area, of course, it's very hard to predict. I mean, let's go ahead and look at the change for the models here. So we have 0Z and 18Z. We're on 0Z right now. I mean, we're not on 0Z. Look, much different story here if we go to the longest hour, actually. Actually, a much different story. So, much less ice. Well, 0.68. So, it's changing. So, since it is such a thin area, maybe if it was more widespread, but since it's such a thin area, maybe it would be easier to predict if it was this big, more widespread. But since it's so close to the coastline, it keeps on going in. Oh gosh, that was a terrible arrow. It keeps on going in and then out, right? And that causes some pretty bad model forecasting. So we'll just see how it pans out here. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. So, if you are here, thanks for tuning in. But we can see pretty bad 72 there, actually. That's actually the most we've seen so far. This area, so the coast won't be as prepared for this snow, right? Now let's look at the total snowfall. Actually, total accumulated snowfall, pretty good. 5 inches. You know, that's pretty good for some of these areas, especially off the coast here. But that's off the coast. So I'm actually, let's see how much is on the coast. 8 inches. So 8 inches on the outer banks here, which is very good. So, you know, it will be like a nor'easter. It will turn into a nor'easter heading up here. So we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. But we can see here pretty large amounts of snow for some areas. Like here we can see 1 to 5 inches as we get to the outer edges of this little snow patch here. And then we can see 0.1 inches to the farther out areas, but here the main swath is right here as it goes up and becomes a nor'easter here. There could be a good bit of snow extending up there, but we'll see what happens with that. Right now, NAM 3 kilometer still showing a good bit here. Boom, pretty heavy snow. It isn't that long, right? But it's very heavy snow. Like, so it starts right here. So this is going to be the main area for snow. It starts right there. Let's pay attention to that area, right? Starting right there, it's going. So it gets the first snow, and then it's the last to get snow, right? And that's what's making it to get so much snow. They're all getting around the same intensity of snow. It's just that area is getting much longer, and that's why the model is predicting more snow. But of course, it becomes stronger. Like the low pressure is right here. It's curving around, right? The precip is wrapping around, right? It's creating something like this, kind of a shrimp. Here, this is a much smaller version, but kind of like a shrimp. And basically the coastline, well, this would be bigger, so basically, let's go and erase that. So basically, nor'easter this big here, maybe a little bit too big. No. So it stretches down there, low pressure system right here, turning this way, right? First of all, it brings cold down here from Canada, and that cold is mixing in with probably this line here. This would all be snow, and that's why it moves up here, causing a good bit of snow. So we'll see what the storm does. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and go back here. Let's go back to the precip. Actually, let's go here. So areas, right? So I actually want to show you guys the nor'easter part of the model forecast. So if we go to bigger region here, so we're going to be talking about the nor'easter in the next video. There was a nor'easter earlier, but I don't know if it's still there. I actually don't know what it is, but in earlier models there was a nor'easter. Okay, so we can see here a nor'easter right here, but in the earlier models this was supposed to be farther against the coast, but I guess not, so it's changed. So we'll see what happens with that video, but it depends on what the model thinks. We're getting to the latter models and we cannot see much, except this snowstorm or ice storm could be causing a good bit of havoc if it comes true. The model is saying pretty heavy snow and very heavy ice right here. That could cause some pretty damaging stuff. But let's go ahead and look at actually what the ECMWF HiRes has to say about that. Okay, so first of all, ECMWF HiRes, around the same prediction as the NAM, pretty close. Maybe it's like more slanted, right? So like instead of it being more widespread over here, it's pulled in a little bit. So that's what they're expecting, but they're expecting around the same amount here. 8 inches, yeah, for the Outer Banks. Maybe even a little bit more. 9 inches for the Outer Banks. So ECMWF is predicting a little bit more. Well, ECMWF HiRes. But let's see what they say about the actual nor'easter that could be happening. Precipitation. Let's go and move it out to hour 168 because I'm pretty sure it was getting to the end of the model. Wait, what hour was it on? It's really hard to. 288. So definitely 228. 228. Yeah, 228. So it was on the exact. Yeah, so this ECMWF HiRes has it a little bit farther against the coast, causing more snow. So it just depends on what the model decides and what happens. Low pressure system could be developing down here. This could be the snowstorm that could be heading up here, or more of a slanted up here, and then we'll curve down here. But we'll see what happens with that. Let's actually go to the latest. Yeah. So basically, it comes from here, from the mountains, because of all these storms. Like, they're like this, right? And the low pressure system's like well off over here. Like, this is bringing precipitation moisture. They leave a little bit of precipitation, right? Precip. And they come down here, right, to Mexico. And then they shoot up here. And it causes a warm front and then a cold front. And this causes snow on the backside of the system. So it brings a big puff of warm air from the Gulf. But there's also a cold front right here bringing in the cold air. So it's like clashing. So let's see. So the warm front would be right around here. And the cold front would be right around here. And then right, like somewhere within here would be the either stationary front or occluded front. Probably stationary front because both of the cold air masses and hot air masses are colliding. But we'll see what happens with that. So, welcome to the stream, everyone. If you are here, welcome to the stream. But it could be pretty dangerous here. Let's go ahead and go to the NAM 3 kilometer cones regional. Let's see what actually they expect from this is 3 kilometers. So this is what I use actually on the GFS. So yeah, this is much better. So we can see already a little bit more ice down here, 0.86. So almost an inch of ice near the coast, but this could fluctuate in unmeasurably. As say if the storm moves just a little bit far off the coast, this let's go ahead. This 0.24 could be right on the coast and could be the max. So we'll just see what happens, but no doubt 0.25 inches or a quarter inch is still a ton of ice. And right here, for almost an inch of ice, that is insane. I'm pretty sure there's more insane amounts. 77, was that just an 83? 83 is our biggest so far. Somewhere embedded in here. 88. I'm pretty sure we got 88 down here. 89, 91. Yeah, our most is 91. So almost basically an inch of ice, which is just crazy absurd amounts. It's right on the coast, and they're not very prepared. It's pretty close to Wilmington. Wilmington is around that area, but we'll see what happens if it moves north or south. South Carolina is still a lot of South Carolina is actually getting anywhere from 0.5 inches to, let's see, over half an inch of ice. So pretty big amounts, and this is covering half of South Carolina. So half of South Carolina is getting some ice whatsoever. And there is a scattered ice showers near Georgia. That's not Georgia. That's definitely not Georgia. Georgia and Alabama. No, that's definitely not. That's Mississippi. So Mississippi. No, that's Alabama. That's Alabama. There's no way that's not Alabama. If I'm, well, it's Alabama or Mississippi, but I always get these two states confused. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to work on my states. So this is Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana's over here, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland. What is this? Is this Maryland? Yeah, that's New Jersey. This is Maryland. Let's see. I don't know what a bunch of these are. Holy, I need to work. Michigan. So I know a lot of my states, but I definitely don't know all of them. I think there's a select few, like this one I definitely don't have. This one, no. This one, Wisconsin, maybe. All of these states, all these tiny little states up here, I definitely don't know, which is a lot. Well, I can't see them well, so maybe that's why. But I still know a lot of states, but these two I get mixed up, but I'm pretty sure I got it right. Alabama is the more east one, and Mississippi is more west one. If I didn't get that right, then I'm just bad at my states. So I'll work on that. I'll try to. At least I'm a small YouTuber, so should fly by. But still, I would love to get those states memorized so I can bring better content to you guys. But we can see here, AT&T. Can I use the HRRR for winter weather? I don't know if it's that good. I don't know about this. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's, okay. Yeah, we're gonna respect that. It seems pretty on board. Definitely a lot more snow than I would expect. Definitely does, it's not as heavy, though. Let's see, maybe right here. It doesn't tell me. Well, somewhere in here, let's go, somewhere, anywhere in here, so. Yeah, anywhere from 5 to 6. So we're gonna do 3 to 5 inches, because 6 is a little bit high. So 3 to 5 inches we're gonna say for the max here, probably right there. So not that bad. It does have a little bit more widespread, as it's covering the whole state of North Carolina, as the NAM. Let's go to the snowfall. Total accumulated snowfall. It definitely isn't covering that much, because here, like, so basically this is how much it's covering here, right? That's how much it's covering, and compared to this, oh, that's kind of, so basically it's outlined it. So here, basically, right, it looks like a little shark or a dinosaur. And then look, so this is a little bit more zoomed in, but North Carolina stretches all the way over here, and this goes past North Carolina, well into Georgia. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Pretty sure that's, so the most we're getting here, 10 inches, well off the coast though. So on the Virginia, it's looking like on the NAM 3 kilometers getting the most with, let's see. 7 or 8 inches because I see very small areas. So locally higher amounts than 7 inches. So I would say 5 to 8 inches for the max area here with the NAM. HRRR isn't really known for predicting winter weather, so I wouldn't really go after that. Let's see Kuchera or whatever, however you say it, as best I can do. Well, yeah, about the same. So just much less off the coast. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and look at. There's really nothing going on here. I think it may have been. The storm may have been a little bit overhyped, but we'll see. I mean, the ice is just definitely no question. And the 0Z has come out, so this is good. Yeah, okay, so basically what happens here is the remaining cold front that is moving throughout the east coast here really leaves its moisture. A little bit of moisture develops here and connects with this cold front, so it becomes one big cold front, right? Much bigger. And it streams into here a bunch of ice. So basically, since the cold front has basically already passed, right? The cold front has passed. This cold air has come into here. And then since the moisture is trying to stream into the system, right? The moisture is trying to stream into the system. It's catching this cold air, and that's what's causing the ice, snow, and freezing rain. That's what we are seeing here. And that's the reason why we're getting it. It's because the cold air is mixing. I mean, the warm air from the Gulf is mixing with the system, causing there to be a layer of warm. So, again, here's the mid layer, right? And then here's the top layer, and then here's the bottom layer. So, right here, let's say it's 31 degrees. Here, 40 degrees, right? And then here, 27 degrees, right? So, it's falling down pretty frozen. Okay, let's do a little snowflake, and then becomes a raindrop, right? And then freezes into like sleet pellets that are kind of really frozen, right? Kind of looks like a sun. Well, basically freezing rain that has either not fully freezed or some sleet. So this is our rain droplet, right? That's our rain droplet. This is our sleet pellet that has turned into rain and to refreeze very quickly. This is the main thing right here. This is the most dangerous here because say there's like a cold surface like concrete. If it falls in there, it's going to freeze immediately, and then more drops, and then more drops. And that will cause heavy weight on branches that could take out power, slippery roads because there's ice on there, and that will cause accidents. So that's the main thing we're worried about there. So we next 12 hours, let's see, next 12 hours. So the ice won't really go till the 48-hour mark. Yeah. And then as we get to the 60 hours, it starts to really impact some places. So basically, here, we're looking at the not ice. Not looking at ice. What am I doing? Look at the ice. Okay, so the freezing rate. So this is the accumulation. So really, it's not going to be impacting until 48 hours, right? It's not going to be impacting much until 48 hours. Which is pretty insane amounts for some areas. But it really starts at 12 hours out. Every hour we can see it start to get more. So in some areas, it's going to accumulate really fast. So let's go to 18 hours here. We can see this line starting to accumulate here already here. And let's go ahead and move on to 23. So that's 5 hours. In just 5 hours. 1/10 of an inch has fallen in some of these areas, right? And I'm looking for, boom, in 3 hours, another 1/10 of an inch possible. It's just getting more widespread, but we're getting there. And then 30 hours, 4 hours out. Okay, so 0.17 inches. Are you ready? 5 hours later. So it's basically times 5 in some areas in 5 hours. So 1/10 of an inch every hour. So that's really fast rates. And then once we get to the 48 hours, it really starts to kick in, and everything has mainly fallen. There may be a few left, but not much, 0.91 inches near the coast. So if that changes whatsoever to go off the coast, we will not see as much ice. That would be the best situation for the coast, so we don't see any dangers. And actually, the GFS is going with the option that they are getting less ice and more snow over here. So we'll see what happens with that. that. Yeah, so it's just okay. So there's like nothing here, right? But you can see a little bit of moisture right here. It's like, dang, I really need to take over this area because we're trying to get moisture in here. So we're just gonna blow it up, right? We're just gonna blow up with snow. So that's apparently what's gonna happen for them. Let's see. Actually, let's zoom in. Southeast United States. Yeah, it's just gonna be like, hey, we need that area. It's gonna expand really fast, and then it's gonna start moving out. So this is what we mean. So it's such a little sliver, right? Here, look how little that sliver is. That sliver moves any little bit off the coast, we are not gonna see much ice whatsoever, right? So let's go and look at the total accumulated snowfall. You can see it has upped a little bit near the coast, but it has gotten more widespread. Definitely moved out. It's definitely looking like more like the HRRR here. We'll see what happens with that. We can see the main ice accumulations right here because it includes sleet, right? So we'll see what happens with that. But I think that we're gonna end the stream here because I've really explained everything, and you can watch the stream once it is done. So if you guys are watching the stream, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.